Morning. The fear of death. You then ponder how the supreme of human evils, the surest mark of the base of cowardly, is not death, but the fear of death. I urge you to discipline yourself against such fears and direct all your thinking, exercises, reading this way, and you will know the only path to freedom. Epictetus Discourses, December the 20th, for Daily Stoic. I've actually written it down today as I don't have a book, and so I listened to it through the audio version and made a few notes, and I intend to order the book again. But today's chapter continues December's month of mortality and the realization, the certainty of death. And Ryan Holiday, the author, discusses, as previous days and I'm sure as forthcoming days, how death is coming. It's coming to us all. And he remarks on Plato's quote, which reads, "It is a child within us that trembles before death." And death it's unknown. There's no one that can come back and tell us what it was like. And it's different to all other fears, where you might fear of standing in front of a crowd, a big group of people. You might fear that, but once you've done it a few times, you feel more comfortable with it and you don't fear it. But this is why the fear of death, no, you can't sort of do it and then do it a few times and then realise, oh, it's actually fine. It'll always be uncertain. It'll always be unknown to you. But yeah, he points out that how older people worry less about death. Have you noticed how old people seem to worry less about death and they're more accepting to the idea? And yeah, I'm curious why this is. I guess it's because, as Ryan says, more time to think about it. You know, the child within them has sort of dissolved, and as children, you know, we're educated that death is a monster. It's got sharp teeth and avoid it at all costs. But it's comforting to know that with death goes all your worries and anxieties and distress. It's the end, you know. If, as Ryan says, as if death is the end, then what is it to worry about? Because there's nothing on the other side of death, just black, just awareness. It's yeah, but always be in the dark about it. It'll always be uncertain. It's like going in front of, it's like that fear of going in front of a crowd, you know. You were scared about that, but you did it you sort of did it a few times. You give yourself a feeling of feeling comfortable. So it's practicing that sort of feeling without the actual physical doing it. It's knowing, and the more you practice doing vulnerable things you're scared about, things you're fearful about, the more you will be accepting of the fear of death, because everything, all fears are direct, always have an end point of death, the fear of death. It's getting sick, you know. We don't like getting sick because of death, because we think it might lead to death, because if it wasn't that, then we wouldn't be scared of getting sick. But it's not to say, like, not to be responsible, you know. And it's not to not being scared of being sick is not like just being frivolous and being responsible. Of course, be responsible, but once you clear the fear, and you know, as Seneca, as Epictetus says, just direct all your thinking and exercising and reading through you know, not fearing death. It's just knowing it's a cowardly act. You will create some space. You could create some space for creativity. Because what the fear of death does, fear of getting sick, any fear that's in your head, it's gonna create a block of some sort. You might not act in a sort of abundant way, and yeah, just be aware of that. Yeah, there's lots of resources out there. The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday is one of them. He mentions another book, about a woman who wrote some Stoic diaries when she had a terminal illness, and Seneca, when he wrote to his family, when they were fearing his execution, just reminding them of philosophy. And so that's your challenge for today, to direct all your thoughts, thinking, exercises, actions away from the fear of death, and acting, being a good person, making the best of what you have. And I'll speak to you tomorrow. Not sure what the chapter is for tomorrow, but it's definitely December the 21st. And I'll speak to you then. Love you.